This is Lolly, and I am back for what appears to be the final tutorial in doing this December daily for 2019. I want to play with my cover, and I'm going to take this off because I think it would be a lot easier for me to decorate that without this being in the binder. Now, I usually save the cover for last. I don't want the bulk of it to disrupt from my crafting. I don't usually do anything from the back. The back, you know, it tends to be lying flat on a table anyway, and we're not really seeing it. So, I'm looking at this, and I think I don't want to do anything totally disruptive, but I like these berries here and the red balls on the Christmas tree, and I'm going to see, I have these, which are tiny flat back resin pieces. I think I got them on eBay or something like that. No, I know it was someone who was selling these not on Etsy, but one of their competitors, and she quit selling it. So I haven't been able to get them since, but I really like them. They're very tiny, and I'm going to use E6000. I think these are too tiny, but these might be the right size for these. So let's try this. I'm not using E6000. Oh my goodness, I'm using glossy accents. I have this pencil that I picked up from Stamp and Scrapbook Expo from Tall Mouse was the name of the booth. And you just tap the image that you want, the thing you want to bring over, and put it down there. Okay, I love the brightness of this. It's very pretty. Now, I notice that there is a bow here, and I'm thinking that I might just go ahead and put a ribbon on there myself to add to that. So what I'm going to do, I like the way that's a double bow. I'm going to double this over and then make a bow. Like that. I think I need something stronger than E6000 though, so I'm going to use maybe Butter Ultimate adhesive to make sure that that really gets adhered. You only need a tiny, tiny dab. You do not need to put a thick amount on there. Wait 30 seconds and then adhere that. While I'm doing that, I did have a video showing how I made these, and I will put that in the link down below. Well, it's part of the series, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and use this, and I will decorate this embellishment. And then I don't want to do too much more because I want to preserve this Christmas memories word here and this image here. I just don't want to do too much here. Okay, so there we go. Oh, it's really cute. Now, I will pause the video and clean this up. Okay. Alrighty. It's really cute. Now, this color of blue is very close to the blue I have here, but I still think it's okay. And I just had another thought. Before I put that down, what I want to do is I have these snowflakes. They are actually a confetti sequin shaker mix. And I got them from the dollar area at Target. There are very faint snowflakes around here, and I thought that these would be cute to add on, just sprinkle them around. I'm going to lay this here so I have an idea where I'm going, so I don't need to put snowflakes under that. I'm just going to put a few snowflakes here and there to accentuate They're holographic, which is just adorable. Oh yeah, it really does. I'll show you in a minute when I get these on. And you can see a little bit of sparkle there. I'm going to add a few more. I don't want to overpower it, but I think just enough to, like I said, add interest. And I'm just looking to see where the snowflakes are in the pattern of the paper. There we go. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. Alrighty, now this, as I was saying, this is about the same color as this. It's a pale blue. So I'm going to pop it up a little bit on thin foam tape. So I'm wondering about, I could put eyelets in here. I also have little snowflakes that are glittery that might, oh, these are, yeah, this is glittery. I don't know, that's kind of overpowering. I don't like that snowflake. It doesn't look like a snowflake to me. This one does, though. I might still use that, though I won't. I think I will still go ahead and put eyelets in these holes. Okay, I need to adjust this, and I'm going to set this to the big setting, which is this is the Crocodile Punch. I'm setting this to A1. That's for the larger size. And I have, these are, many people ask me where I get my eyelets. These are old Stampin' Up! Ones, but I got them from a secondhand store. So I basically pick up eyelets anywhere I see them. So I really can't give you just a general idea of one place where you can get eyelets. If you have any good resources, you can put them in the comments down below. And I like the white because I think I want to focus on the snowflakes in this. So I think that's cute. And so I was thinking as well, how about like 'Tis the Season? And if you haven't downloaded your words, the download is in the link down below this video. The free words that I'm giving you. And I just had a snowflake. Here it is. So what I want to do is cut off the shank. It's a shank button. Now, I can't find my shank remover. And do you ever buy, you're so used to what your tools look like by color that when you're searching for them, you're looking for the right color? Well, I bought a new shank remover and I can't find it. So, because I forgot what color it is. And so I'm using the Tonic Studios, which is these really strong scissors. And he has changed the handle color. I think they're black now. And same thing, I want to use, I think I'll put that on there with the Better Ultimate Adhesive. Okay, first I have to figure out my assembly here. I want that, but I think it might be a little bland across there. So I'm just thinking, okay, I have a thought. So what I want to do first is I want to go ahead and get the foam on the back. I'm considering also glittering around the border here. I think that will help to bring out some dimension. So here's what I'm going to do. I use a lot of the microfine glitters, and so much so that I put them in here, basically the white colors. And I'm using this Tombow Mono Aqua liquid glue, because it gives you a nice slim line. Now this will not really show up white, it will show up kind of frosty, almost like snowflakes. Now that really helped that quite a bit. So it's not so bland, and it helps it to show up against, excuse me, show up against this background here. Okay, now I'm going to let this dry, and then I will come back and put that on and finish my embellishment of it. Okay, I think I've given that sufficient time to really dry off. I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of glitter loose and on the run here, so let's flip this over and let's get that foam tape on the back. If you ever feel like the surface you're gluing this to is not, it's too slick maybe, you can always add a little of other adhesive to that. Okay, now what I love about this foam tape is it's narrow. It's not thick, and so it doesn't poof that up too high, but just enough to give you the dimension you need. So I do have this. I do have 'Tis the Season, if I wish. Now, some of you may be thinking about putting maybe the year on this. That would be great, too, to put what year this is, 2019. You could also put it on the back. You can put it on the inside, wherever you feel like putting 2019 on there. I really like that. Now I'm thinking about, do I want to put anything else with this? So maybe, do I need red? If so, I could do a poinsettia. Maybe even instead of this, like up there. That would be really beautiful, and it would really add some pretty color to that as well. Oh my gosh, why did I do this? Now I'm having a hard time deciding. Okay, I like the snowflake as well, but definitely not as noticeable as this. The question is, part of me really likes this red, this focus here, and I think that this takes away from it. It sort of steals its thunder, but I think I will move the snowflake up there, and that makes me happy. So I'm putting this down, which normally I would put the words right in the center of any kind of label like that. But because I want to get that snowflake in there, I'm putting it down toward the bottom. And I'm getting out the Better Ultimate adhesive again. Because this is not completely flat on the back, I am giving it a little more glue than I normally would. Still going to wait the 30 seconds before applying that, so I'm going to pause the video. And we are ready to put that in there. Okay, again, because it's not quite flat, I'm going to put it the way I want it. Now, another thing is you could definitely put eyelets in your holes here on your cover. I haven't done that, and I know that, for instance, here we go. The eyelets do make the hole somewhat smaller. You can see the difference between this hole and this hole right here. It is smaller. And so when you get to like the joint here, it won't roll probably very easily through that hole with the eyelet in there. You could use the hole reinforcement dies like this set here to make really cute hole reinforcements over there. That's something else you could do. Okay, I'm going to put this on there, and then let's get us a paper clip made for this. Okay. Oh, I love it. I really am very happy with that. I'm more of a minimalist when it comes to putting things on the covers. But, you know, and if you want more things on your tabs, feel free to do that. I did put a bow on this one. I could do whatever I wanted on these ones. If I saw something I wanted, I can always go in and add it in later when I'm doing my day-to-day diary keeping in here. Okay, so we were going to look at paper clips. I think I might do two, and that's because I have some really cute stuff that's small. I like that Santa Claus. And let's get out some itty-bitty items. Now that is the snowflakes that I've cut out already. I have this Santa Claus. I have that. These were the little cut aparts that came in the paper collection. It's very cute. Okay, and here's another one, because I didn't use too many of them. So whatever's left over of your scraps, you know, grab those out and see what works. I have all these little embellishments here that would be just adorable. Okay. I want to put this aside so that we can focus on paper clips. Now, the fastest way that I can make paper clips is to use what I call paper clip blanks. These are in my shop, and this is what they look like. If you have a 1-inch button maker, these also work in that. What you can do, and you can use permanent glue if you wish, is to turn this over, put permanent glue here if you want, but just push this up and snap it into place. Excuse me. There, it snaps into place. Make sure that you're not putting the double loop end into the paperclip blank. Now, it's a little recessed, so if you're concerned about that, when you put your glue, you can add a little extra glue in the center, or, oh, let's see, I've forgotten. I think it's maybe a 3/4 inch. So here's a 3/4 inch hole punch. You can cut a couple of the cardstocks, glue them in place, and it just raises up the center just enough. So let's do that, and I'll show you what I mean. So if we glue these together, usually it gives me just enough thickness to raise the center of that hollow paper clip up. Okay. Then I can glue that in here, and then I can glue my image on top. Now these are adorable. This looks like a magazine cover to me. I think it's really cute. And I don't have to necessarily do anything other than that, but the other thing you could do is put eyelash trim around the back or any other embellishments sticking out. You could add snowflakes, however you want it. You could do the snowflake that way. Okay, I think I will. And I am going to use the Jewel-It just to make sure that, oops, that's a lot again. I want to make sure that this really sticks to the glittery paper here. So I'm holding that for a second because there's a lot of Jewel-It on the back there. Well, while that's drying, I'm going to come over here and glue this in place. You'll see just how easy it is to work with these paperclip blanks. In the meantime, I'm going to do this. Okay, so now that can go in here. That just gives it enough of a raise. Now, I want to, let's see, I think I will add some of this around the very edge, and I'm just being very light. I'm hardly touching it. It's a very, very thin coat. And I will go ahead and add the paper glue in the center. All you have to do is just glue that in place. Because I have Better Ultimate Adhesive on there, I'm going to set it aside and not play with it for a little while there. Okay, and while that one's drying, I'm looking at these ones. I really like the Santa a lot. Love you, Santa, it says. But I want to see if anything would work well with that. The tree is pretty large, but that is cute. I think that would work. Okay, let's get that clipped off of there. Just remember, when you remove the shank in the back of a button, sometimes it means a layered button may fall apart. So just a heads up about that. Okay, let's get some paper in here. While that's drying, I'm going to put the tree here. Now, this is a really thick and heavy material, so I am going to also add the glue here. And wait 30 seconds. Now, this one will be a little tricky because it is very bulky. Now, those of you who are new to my paper clip crafting, I want to show you a trick. I don't want to hold this for a long time, and it's not flat, so if I lay it down, it could get imbalanced and fall over. But if I lay it in a tray of old rice, I can lay any shape in there and it will be supported in the rice. Just make sure there's no glue on the back or you will have rice sticking to it. So this way it can set in there and not be perturbed while it's setting up. There. It's a good way of letting unusual shapes harden or dry. Now, another idea I have is this. These are called coin capsules, and they are for holding a coin for coin collectors. So I love these. I use them a lot, and what I'm going to do is get out, I'm going to cut a 1-inch of, it depends on your coin capsule size. I got mine on eBay, and they're all different sizes, so it's totally up to you what size you want to pick up from them. I think the 1-inch might be a little too small. I'm going to use 1 1/4 inch, and I'm going to punch out a white cardstock. And the reason I want to do that is because if I just glue this on here, I will see the paperclip blank from the back, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to open this up, and I could glue this to the back, but what would happen is I would see the glue. So I'm going to glue it in this way, and it turns out this is a little bit too big for that. It actually goes in here. It's still a little bit too big, just a smidge. Oh. But I think the 1 inch would be too small, so let's compare sizes. Yes, that is way too small for me, unless I just cover up. I could do that. I will just put it in the center, cover this up, Otherwise, I could take this and just trim it down just a little bit. I could see if I can. I don't think that my evenness will, I don't think it'll be very even, but I'll try. I think once I add shaker bits in here, it won't really be noticeable. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing a good job at all. Okay, but like I said, I think the shaker bits will break that up and you won't really notice how bad of a cutting job I did. Okay, so I do want to glue that in there. And I will use whatever I want. Let's go ahead and get the better out again. Okay, so let's get this in there. I'm going around and pushing down all of the very, very small, very, very edges right there. Perfect. Now, one thing about this is I think I should let this really dry overnight because I have better ultimate adhesive kind of squishing through, and I don't want that. I don't want any of my shaker bits to stick to that, okay? The other drawback of putting the cardstock in here is it does take up a teeny bit of your space that you reserved for, as far as thickness. You can only use very, very thin shaker elements. Okay, all right, let's let that dry and we will come back and finish this tomorrow. Okay, so I just went to bed and let that rest. I do have the rest of these little snowflakes that I was gluing on the cover. So let's add some of those. They're very holographic. And I still have some of the shaker bits that I used earlier. And this is Dress My Craft, and the pattern is Warm Red. And that's what this is called. When I put it in a Ziploc, I left the package header here, and I had written the name on it. I had made a suggestion. Their packaging just has their own internal code here, and I asked them to, you know, in the future when they make their new ones, to actually put a name of the item, so if you ever wanted to buy more of something that you had that you liked, you would know what it was called. Okay, you can't overstuff these because of how shallow they are. So I think I may have to remove a little bit of this. And they have their own holographic stuff in here as well. I probably could have gotten by with not adding my own snowflakes in there. Just trying to remove a few of these pieces so it can shake. I want the red. I do not glue my lids down on these coin capsules. You can by running a super thin bead of like super glue, just a couple dots here and there, but I've never had them come apart. So, I mean, they're hard to get apart anyway, so yes, it does shake. Yay! So now all I have to do is glue that onto here. I can do the same thing about adding the paper, and I believe I will. And I can add paper glue to the center because, no, I can't. I forgot about that. I was thinking that I had paper on the outside. I do not. So all I'm going to do is, I'm just going to leave that there, but I'm going to add just a pinch more of the better to make sure I get a good seal here. And then what I think I'll do, I'm going to just, while this is setting up for 30 seconds, I'm going to look in here and see if there's some tiny little thing that I might want to glue on the outside. Like these little buttons. A clear snowflake would be cute too, because you would still see the shaker. You would still see it shake. It just gives dimension to it, and I like that. So I like the candy cane. And we do have white snowflakes, but then you're not seeing the shaker bits as much, but we could put it off the top like that. Okay, so now we know we could put this on here. I'm not centering it, I'm putting it toward the bottom of the shaker like this. I'm just gluing the bottom of the snowflake because the top is going to stick out over my project, but I think I also want to add a teeny little bit here for a button. So when you get glue on something that you don't want the glue on, this particular glue, all you have to do is take vegetable oil and a rag, and we'll get that right off. Okay, so this has to set in my rice so it can firm up. These two are done. Let's get those closer there so you can see them. There you go. So we're calling this done now, and I will add pictures at the end, so stay tuned.